Everybody, what's up? This is No Nonsense News. I'm Ted. It's Tuesday, November 10th, 2020. I told you guys a couple weeks ago, New York City was starting to clamp down and tighten up, if you will, on the restrictions surrounding the sickness, claiming that the numbers were going up. And here we have more evidence just backing up what I told you just a couple weeks ago to prepare for this because it was coming down the pike, fast and furious. Here it is. New York City on the verge of full-blown second wave as positivity rate nears the school shutdown mark. If the city's rolling positivity rate hits 3%, all schools would which remote for a period of time. If it keeps climbing, Mayor de Blasio said new restrictions from limited hours to full-scale closures could come next. I told you weeks ago this was coming. Let's just head down here. I'll hit a couple of these bullet points. It's basically New York City seeing the highest daily case average since late May. The rolling positivity rate is up to 2.31%, and if it hits 3%, public schools would switch to all remote. In New Jersey, roughly 1 in 500 residents have been diagnosed with COVID-19 over the last 7 days. New restrictions targeting indoor dining, okay, that's basically the same thing. Both of those are basically the same thing as last night. Cuomo's saying the next couple months could get hard. I hate to say it again that I told you so, but I told you so. And here's more. Philly health officials say complete lockdown is on the table as COVID-19 cases spike in the city. We're just adding more cities to this list that are tightening and now even openly admitting to probably lockdowns coming. Second waves, if you will. A lot of people have their hopes up on this vaccine. We don't really know how that's going to go yet. But we already know that hospitals get money for the patients that come back diagnosed with COVID. We also know that the death rate is super, super low right now. Without some type of mutation or further evidence saying that this death rate is going way up all of a sudden for some strange reason, you don't show us any evidence for these lockdowns. Which comes back to what I'm saying last night to you guys. This is an infringement upon your freedoms. Don't let them take it, because they won't give it back easily. We have to refuse the lockdowns. In other countries, they're refusing the lockdowns. America is supposed to be the freest, greatest country on this planet. And you have other countries standing up. Other countries that the United States used to look at as weak, like France and places like that, these people are standing up to their governments against these lockdowns. And here in the free United States of America, we need to do the same thing. Until they give us evidence, let us make the decision of the lockdown, right? And just like this here, Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court Justice, poses the question, mask mandate. Would people have standing to challenge the mandate to wear the mask? Basically, this headline is misleading because it doesn't really say much about that. It's more about the Affordable Health Care Act, Obamacare, and he just brought that up during it. But the question needs to be raised by someone like Clarence Thomas. Is that impinging on our rights? Yes, it is. Of course, you can't tell me to wear a mask. You can give me the numbers and you can let me make that decision. Just like in some states now, they've decriminalized all these drugs, right? They're letting you make the decision. That's whether you agree with drugs or not, that's freedom. Let them people make that choice. If you want to be a crackhead and steal from your family to get crack, that's your choice. But there are going to be repercussions of that. We don't need to fill jails with people because they're addicted to drugs. Just like we can't force you to wear a mask. Give us the information. Tell us these are the numbers of people getting it. These are the numbers of people dying. These are the groups of people being older with sicknesses, whatever. And let us make the decision. That's freedom. You can't make us wear a mask, and you definitely can't lock us down. Remember that. Don't let them lock you down. That we should make that one of them hashtags. Don't let them lock you down. Here's another one. This guy, I don't know if you guys know Peter Schiff. If you don't, he's all over YouTube. Just type in his name. Check him out. Really, really smart guy when it comes to economics. And he's talking about how there is no vaccine for the economy. And I'm just going to, basically he's saying what I said earlier about right now the stock market is soaring it was soaring this morning anyway. It was actually a little volatile. It dropped off at the end of the day, selling off a lot of stocks of stay-at-home stocks, if you will, like Netflix and Zoom, things like that. And anyway, he's saying, a lot of people are excited about this, but I'll quote it right here. I don't want to mess him up. One thing that I know for sure is if we do get a COVID vaccine from a particular product, it's not going to happen this year. In fact, it's not going to happen during the coming flu season. hmm That means it's not going to do anything to prevent a second wave of COVID or any kind of economic damage that may occur as a result of any kind of lockdowns or other policies that governments pursue in order to mitigate the spread of the disease. Okay, I've said to you guys this since I've been out here talking. This sickness is kind of a patsy because our economy was shit before this. And all this was a kick in the balls to a guy that was already down as far as the economy. And now they're going to act like COVID is what made it that way. But we were already going down the tubes. Think about the homelessness, all that in California, right? But anyway, I like to quote this one just before I get out of here. Investors still haven't wrapped their heads around the fact that the Fed, along with various levels of government, have done far more to damage the economy than COVID-19. The problem is not really the fact that we have a disease, but that we are addicted to the cure. And he's talking about like stimulus and the Federal Reserve pumping money into the stock market. Like I talk about, it's not real, it's manipulated, right? Not the real economy, which was cheap money and all of this debt. And so now it's the addiction to the cure that's the real problem. The disease doesn't even matter anymore because even if we get rid of the disease, we're still addicted to the cure. And the Federal Reserve can't take away the cure without causing an even bigger problem than the initial disease that the cure was meant to cure. Because now the problem isn't even the disease. Who cares about that? The problem is the cure that was so addicting. And now we've got an even bigger problem than the one that started with. And the problem's not going away. And there is no antidote or vaccine that is going to work for that. We are stuck with that. And that's our economy. And that's what that is why I preach preparedness. Because regardless, you take all of that election hype they gave us about the violence and all that, you take all of the sickness this year out of the equation, and you still have tremendous red flags that tell you to prepare just in case. Remember? The economy wasn't good. COVID certainly didn't help things. From here, where do we go? Even if they come with a vaccine, it's not going to fix the problems that we had with the economy originally. Nothing since 2008 has really been fixed. Like I said, this whole thing is just a patsy. The economy is garbage. And prepare for that. Get ready. If you lose your job, that's part of the real economy. People losing their jobs all over the place. That's happening still. People don't want to talk about it. Yeah, we gained a little bit of jobs last week, but we'll see. We'll see when the numbers come out for the past week, right? Anyway, guys, don't be scared. Get prepared. Go out there and get ready just in case something like the economy does go down. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out of here. Give me the thumbs up. Subscribe. Be safe. And I'll see you tomorrow.